evening, YouTube. It's Mal Rage, aka, excuse me. Good evening, YouTube. It's Mal Rage, aka, the April Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we only have a few more days left of August. Right now it's been a little hot, but right just about a few minutes ago, about an hour ago, we had a nasty little storm come through. You can see the thunder back around, and the lights went out for like a blink second. So I was hoping to. I hate to miss this interview because one time I had an interview with a lady, and then the lights, my cable was out. It was out, and then it finally came back on. And said, "Well, we can try to rearrange it for another day." But we have here as a lady, and she is from the country of Ukraine. Ukraine is going through some hardships, and where our hearts and our where we should out there to the country of Ukraine. She is an IFBB pro. She turned pro last year at the Teen Collegiate and Masters show. She's also a trainer and a mom, and it just like I said, a lot of you guys are saying, George, we need this girl, we need this guy, we need this girl. I get people that I want to bring on my show. I love to get the top girls, but you know what? It's up to them if they want to come. But I love to give women like this opportunity to share the story because, as you know, I'm an international player from the Himalayas. And I just love talking to these ladies from other worlds, part of the world, and get it started. So we have here the lovely Miss Lena Betka, if I get her name right. I want to apologize if I get it wrong. And she is here with us. So we want to ask us this question: what kind of lovely lady like you in the sport of, as we call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share with us.
First of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's a real pleasure to kind of like give me a spotlight over here and tell my story. Bodybuilding for me is life, but I consider myself. Um, um, I started pretty late in my life, so my first competition that I simply dipped my toes in and decided to feel what it's like to be on a stage competing was when I turned 39 years old. So I'm not like in this lifestyle forever. I simply fell in love like later in my life, and I would say like it changed my life drastically to on different levels of my life, not only my sport life, but also personal understanding who I am, what makes you me happy, and um, honestly saying like breaking some society standards of how the woman should look like, because I'm different. I muscular, and I enjoy being like that, and it's what makes me happy, truly happy, because I'm doing what I love, and I'm lucky and happy to present it to you guys and to show what is my passion is. Uh,
That's
it.
good that you have a passion for this sport because you know what? It's like I said, we just had a few hours ago we had the Olympic pole masters,
Yeah,
and also is it just had it. One lady I did an interview with back. I met her at right here in North Carolina some time ago. The lovely Mrs. Rashada Boswell,
yeah,
and she won that show. Big fan of Rashada. Shout outs to her and congratulations. But yeah, it's not the first lady who comes to sport late. I know some ladies who competed when they're younger, took a step back, like me and you were talking, how
yeah.
had the kids, and then decided that now the kids are grown, and or the kids are getting older now, they didn't need as much. They came back in sport, and what really got you started. And you say, how did you? Was it like you was your athlete? Was it just the fact that you were like, especially you have two kids? Sometimes I have ladies say that because they had the kids, got a little weight, get the baby bump that they never could get because every baby bump. So say,
I
you know what?
understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I never was like athlete of any type of way. I was when I was a child and throughout my like teenage years, I was dancing, but not professionally, just for fun. I loved it. We were like we had our little team, so we were kids. We were engaged in that. Then back in Ukraine, life happens, and I got married. I had kids, so all that pushed me away from being in any type of activity whatsoever in a sport. I was all involved in raising them and all devoted to them. But moving here to US and starting my life all over again, it was really hard. I tried different jobs, But at one point, I was lucky, and I had that inner feeling that I'm getting this job. I started working at the gym. That's when it started 6 years ago. My foot got in, and I fell in love with weights. Even though like I never tried them in my life, all I was doing gymnastics, big tennis, yoga, dancing, all little things that just kept me active, but not in a specific way. But when I start lifting, I alongside was starting to become a personal trainer because I felt like that's exactly where I belong. That's where I want to be. I want to inspire people. I want to help them to get better with their lives, and just to make their life slightly different, to make them move with my own experience and being different because I'm a foreigner from different country, from immigrate to US. So that's when it started. Just like by simply moving weight, lifting, getting stronger, my physique started changing. And but I've never in my mind thought that I would be stepping on a stage as a competitor ever.
Mhm.
People and my clients were stopping me by and asking like, hey, we see you've been exercising and you look great, how about like you try yourself and compete? And I was just like, what's that, like just try. And my first show I did in 2019 as a bikini in a different league, OCB. And once I was on a stage, I felt like that little kid inside of me is still there that I used to dance and be on a stage. And I was just feeling so happy at that moment. I couldn't even describe my feelings. That was it. I was hooked up. And slowly, gradually, I was growing and trying to climb the higher mountain.
So that, and after that, you went in OCB, which is another like a lot of
League,
people don't know.
yeah,
There's several different
league,
federations of bodybuilding. There's OCB, there's the WBFF, there's
yeah,
also there's natural bodybuilding. Most people who follow bodybuilding mostly think of like most definitely is NPC and IFBB. Those are the two bigger ones. But
yeah.
that's where I know one lady said when she started out in the organization, she wanted to go to the Olympia. She said that well, she had to switch from that organization over to NPC because that's the
Mhm.
organization where you can go to Olympia at. And like I said, the first time on stage, you like a little kid in the king story. You feel really good, you know. But you know, like the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that you're on the stage, and you're a bikini competitor in your little outfits, and your light shining bright on you. I don't know. Most people, I know somebody said they be that the first time they were scared, but you were excited. And I know that's a good thing that you had a good feeling. I think you were just being like you say, you're a dancer, like you were younger, just being a
Yeah,
natural performer. That really helps.
that truly helps. But even though like I knew what kind of feelings you experience when you're on a stage, having that exact moment, I could hear my literal heartbeat in my ears. The excitement was so strong that when I was competing in figure wearing high heels, I felt like I'm about to fall on the judges because like I couldn't hold myself tight and I was shaking, but not from being a lack of posing experience, no, but just by happiness I was experiencing inside. But I think those feelings, like, they always fire up inside of me. Like when I'm on a stage, it doesn't matter how many times I would step on stage, I still gonna feel that like butterflies in my stomach. That's it. No fear, nothing, just pure excitement and happiness.
Well, that's the thing is, yeah, it's good that you have that happiness. I know it's nervous because I know you said like so your first time you're happy. I know somebody's like I said again, their first time they're scared, and it said that you wear bikini, then you switch to figure. When you decided to switch to physique?
Oh, it's a very interesting story. So remember 2018, that's like my first show, my first experience. I fell in love, good thing. Then 2020, it's like pandemic happens. Like all gyms are closed. People don't know what's going on before like it's the end of the world, right? But I was kept training myself inside of the basement, kept buying like those little pieces of equipment that I can use and just slightly just keep my body going. I didn't have any idea where I'm going. Like I wanted to try figure because I thought like that's where I fit the most. While competing as a bikini, my shoulders were too overpowering already for that type of division. Even though like I brought a very complete package and placed second. But I wanted to try something more because as I was training, my body was changing and my ambitions were growing. So I look at myself at one time like I guess I'll get a fit in figure and I'll try to get myself ready to compete in that division. And me and my coach, we were looking at the shows at Pittsburgh, and we decided to dip our toes in two divisions and where to see where I fit the most. So I tried figure and physique. Uh, that was the show national qualifier, and I won both of them. So, but the moment I was competing with no shoes and had that freedom to show my personality and not to be a line of girls just hitting mandatory poses, I felt that's it. This is it. I'm not figure, even though like I was trying to squeeze myself in into the class because I felt like it. But my heart showed me absolutely different way, and I told my coach Christina backstage, like, you know what, I think that I belong to physique. And she said like, okay, let's go with it. And then also there was interesting moment. I saw a girl, she was competing in women's bodybuilding. Her weight was on a stage, I don't remember her name and her last name. I know that she was petite compared like to my own size. I look at her like, oh wow, she's the badass. She's competing in women's bodybuilding because in my mind it was always like something unreachable to me. And I look at her and thought like, wait a minute, but I'm a little bit heavier. How about like I'll try both and see where I can like what I can do. So for competing in the national show, I crossed over into two classes, into physique and women's bodybuilding.
Mhm.
And that's how I like found myself that I truly love both of those classes, but depending on the conditioning and the package that I'm about to bring, I'm gonna stick to bodybuilding.
Yeah, because a lot of like the last few years, bodybuilding. Like I said, I've been fighting bodybuilding for a long time. I've been a fan of bodybuilding, and these ever since I was like in my about 8 or 9 years old. My brother used to, and this is a story I always tell. My brother used to collect the old muscle mags like Iron Man, Flex, and stuff. He used to play football here in our hometown. And I used to love watching, like, look at the bodybuilding guys, like guys like Lee Haney and Arnold Schwarzenegger and those guys back in the day. And then, women was something different, because I was getting up into my teenage years, getting to puberty, and just seeing these women with the muscles and the little suits, something like that was something that drew me into it. But yeah, it's about like especially in NPC, a lot of shows are not having a lot of qualifications for bodybuilding because they want to. Figure supposed to be no physique supposed to be the new division to take over women's bodybuilding. But if you look at the division in the past, few years, the divisions you can't sometimes you can't tell the difference between physique and bodybuilding. Even sometimes you can't tell the difference between physique and figure because it seem like especially at the pro levels seem like because you double dip you're doing both physique and figure and then doing both physique and women's bodybuilding.
Yeah. So you're right about that. Like with years, women's competitors divisions they have grown, right? Each year girls are getting bigger, bringing more muscularity. So yeah, sometimes it's hard to say the difference between figure and physique or physique and bodybuilding. But what a judge is looking for physique, you need to bring thick conditioning, striations like dryness, and that's a very like hard job to do, especially when you're getting older, right? But for women's bodybuilding, judges looking for more curves, for more fullness in the muscle, for more roundness, for bubblier overall look, and that look that, in my own opinion, gives more feminine look to a competitor, to an athlete. That's why I was just like looking at Andrea show how gorgeous she looks on the stage and just um, it it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely mind blowing, and it's beautiful.
I mean, I'm a big Andrew Shaw fan, and I think she, I was talking with Eunice. She's just, I think, truthfully, she's an ambassador for women's bodybuilding because
Absolutely.
I mean, she just has like there's a movie used to come out years ago. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was called The Fifth Element, Bruce Willis,
Yes,
and yeah,
one
it
of
was
my
a part.
favorite.
Yeah, and the part where they take the girl and they take her body and they bring it back to life, and the guy, the scientist saying, he said, she's perfect,
She's perfect.
and that's what Andrea is. She's perfect, and you got a pleasure to meet the lovely Miss Shaw a while back, and you know,
Yeah,
and
I was so lucky to meet her. And I went to the posing seminar in the beginning of this year, Victoria posing seminar that happens here in Ashburn every single year. So tons of athletes were sharing their experience, and among them was Andrea Shaw, Teresa Ivanchik. So I was lucky to sit back there, start talking to her. She was so down to earth and willing to share, and just like I felt like her and Teresa. I know those girls for years. I felt like I'm home. So I was truly happy meet her, and just because I saw her once in Pittsburgh when I was competing at the national qualifier backstage. She was just there cheering girls and just talking to everybody, taking pictures. But back then, usually sit in a corner in the backstage and hiding because I'm so focused, and I was so scared to come over and talk to her because like she's the biggest star, and like I'm here just trying like my little thing. But visiting posting seminar, I was just happy as hell just to come over and say like, hi, I've been fan of you. I saw you competing on Phoenix because me and my coach we went to see Rise in Phoenix in November last year, and there were all the line girls in front of us on the stage, and Andrea winning that huge truck and being there and just seeing its first seconds in the first row, it was absolutely amazing. And knowing her right now as a person and having her as I would consider like friend, that's pretty awesome.
well, truthfully, I went to my first bodybuilding show. That was Savannah, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
last year, and that was
Mm-hmm.
the Linda Murray Savannah Pro, and she was there guest posing, and she was just amazing. I mean, you see up there, she like, even though she was like I think she was maybe like 3 4 weeks away from doing the Rising Phoenix, even though she wasn't like as conditioned as she usually is, she still looked great. I mean, she was. Mona Perse was on the other side. Mona was really conditioned that year. I thought Mona should have competed at that show. She probably could have won a qualification that year. But Andrea was just amazing. Like right here we got a picture of her. And I mean, it's
Yeah, I
just.
see that. Yeah, that was that day when I met her and finally was brave and I enough to talk to her.
I mean, I would love to meet her because I got a lady I'm kind of friendly with. She's friends with her. I've interviewed with ladies that know her really well. I mean, I when I think about it, I'm simping over her because I can't. I mean, she's just because I can't help it. I used to have like I was telling Eunice. I used to have a partner. We used to do a live stream together. Me and my partner, and he went to New York early this year, and he saw her there. And there's a picture of her with his arm around her. I said, "Yo, dude, what you doing with my girl?" I mean, I know, guys, we sometimes act like that, even though hey, she don't know who I am, but we just act like that's my girl. I mean, sometimes we just I don't know. But here we got here someone coming through, and that's
Yeah.
my man, Rolando G. And Rolando's saying he says this. He says, "All the rage. This is this lovely lady, Lena from Kick Ass 2. Please to meet you, Lena. You're a beautiful lady, and
Because
you
of my
have a
hairstyle.
yeah, the hairstyle like chick from Kick Ass. I never saw Kick Ass 2. I was into the yeah,
That's
but yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot. Like you're a badass from Kick Ass. I was like, sure I
Well,
am.
you kind of get that Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky Four kind of look. You have to accent. You have to say
Yeah.
Ivan. Say
If you
like
die, you die.
that's God. He just God. I love this Brando. You know what, guys? When a lady knows a movie from like Rocky Balboa from Rocky movies, that is you gotta hey guys. So anyway, we're gonna dip into her social media for a bit.
Okay.
But like I said, if you want to follow Lena, social media is in the description. Check her out. Be respectful, guys. And this is the rule. There's no fish for you, Lena. I tell this to guys. Lena's a pretty girl. She got the blonde hair. She got the accent. Guys, no D pics. Stop it. She got kids, man. Come on. Come on. Don't be that weird guy. Don't be that weird guy. So here we're going to dip into her IG. And, we see you working out here. Which is your Favorite workout, which is your least favorite workout?
I'm pretty weird. I love everything. Maybe inside I just simply love that physical amount of pain. But I would say, like, I consider and look at my physique as a bad genetics. That's why, like, each workout for me is very important. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm training upper body, legs, shoulders. For me, it's just a priority for that time. Some people say like I look really mean when I'm at the gym, but that's just me being focused. I'm actually a really nice person in life.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that's thing you working out. You don't have time to be like, be cordial. You lift heavy weights. You're trying to build your body, but yeah, but it's that's a tough thing. I know some ladies would say the least favorite. I was talking to one lady this morning how she said her least favorite. She does it every 3 days. Is leg day. That
I
is.
love leg days. Leg days are lacking part of mine, and I'm trying to put in tons of work just to improve. That's why I took after I won my pro card. I took the whole year this year off just to work on my size. Because for the next year, for my pro debut, I don't want to bring just a new suit to the stage. I want to bring a different Dina and just show judges that I've been putting in work and just took all their feedback and took time to improve, to
Mhm.
get better.
And this little clip from you, like this is nice pictures here. Yeah, uh, yeah. Like this is like, right. You just,
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on stage. I was just feeling the music, enjoying that minute that belonged to me. It was truly my moment.
yeah. I mean, you have a great physique. You have potential. This picture I like here too. You're like looking like this. This is what you should say when you die, you die. I mean, this is like I know. I know. Some guy would say this. I don't know. Should I be scared or should I be scared stiff or just plain stiff? I don't. But
Thank
like I
you.
said, yeah. But like I said, you are an attractive woman. You have a great physique. You put in hard work into this. And you say, who's your coach and trainer again?
My coach is Christina Nelly. She got
Oh,
her pro card. She won it also last year, the same weekend in Chicago.
oh yeah. I actually met her
She
at
is very
the.
tall, Amazon beauty. Like I truly admire her. She became more than a coach and trainer to me. She became my friend, and we've been together with her since 2021. Yeah,
Well, if you meet her, don't mention my name to her. We didn't come out on good terms. I just want to let you know.
that's
But
my
yeah, but like I said, this is your boy, right?
yes,
How old
yes.
is he?
He's 12. He's
Oh,
gonna turn 13 next month.
well, that's the man of the house, right?
Oh, I wish at that age I was introduced to the gym. I'm like, but I better not ask that question because it makes me sad since I started so late. But I'm truly happy to be a mother that inspired him to do something different. Yep.
And is your other child a boy or girl?
Daughter, she
How?
is 23.
Oh, she's grown, so she don't, she's
Yeah.
doing her own thing. So, but
Yeah, she's doing her own thing, trying to build her career. I'm trying to bring her ass also to the gym, but in
you
time, she will understand.
at 23, she's doing her thing. She's partying. She's
Yeah,
doing this. She's
yeah.
working. I bet she's just as pretty as you. I, because
Yeah,
the apple don't fall from the tree, as the
yeah.
saying go.
Thank
And,
you.
and that's the thing about children. Like I said, I grew up kind of big family. I have nieces and nephews, great nieces, great
Yeah,
nephews. And children. If you really do something that really impress on them, they'll follow your lead. I mean, some people talk about kids are bad today, but it's only because of the fact if you don't, you know, you got to remember, you got to treat them like children, but also at the same time, you have to bring them along. Like there was a movie called Green Mile. Get them while they're young, and
yeah.
while they're young, they can learn something. And it's good that I think he has a future. I mean, he could probably be an athlete, follow his mother's feet, maybe even get into
I
bodybuilding,
truly
whatever you
hope.
want to do.
I truly hope. Yep. Because I follow a simple rule as a mother. I don't try to tell them what to do. They see me, they see my lifestyle, they see who I am, and kids are always watching us, no matter what we do, and they absorb it. So, like, don't try to force them to do something that you want. Be an example for them to for them to start following you, just be a true leader for them. That's all
Mm.
it takes.
Yeah, and like I
First,
always say,
he was always telling me like he doesn't want to get big, or he doesn't care about muscles, because I was always teasing him about his little noodle arms. But but at some point he said like, my bicep gonna be bigger than yours. Like, I will be really happy.
well, yeah, no, he's a boy, and he's still like when he hits that,
Yeah.
especially puberty. Because when I was coming up, I used to lift weights. I used to play football in my high school. I lifted weights. By the time I was 16, I was already doing like over 300 in the bench. I was like squatting nearly 500. I was one of the, I had some guy say, George, you wasn't the strongest guys on the team. He said, George, this guy asked me, said, George, you ever have some? Meaning, you ever had some? Said, no. He said, well, son, you cock strong. That's what rides you so strong. You cock strong. It's an old country saying. It's like, I hear the country. That's what we got. You've been in long enough when like folks. She's in the DMV. I said DMV. You mean District of the
I
Department
was
of Motor
laughing
Vehicles?
like, you made my day. I'm like, okay.
Because I just was because I know that's the District of DC, which is District of Columbia,
Yeah.
and also
Maryland,
and
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia's not too good. It's a good way from where I live because I live in North Carolina. I had some family to stay in Maryland around Baltimore, and never been to DC. I always wanted to go there. I've been to Virginia before. Been to Florida, been to a couple places. I really maybe now that for I think I had a couple of jobs. Like when I was like 16, 17, I used to work at a gas station. And
Mhm.
then my sister got me a job working with her at textiles. I was working in a textile plant with women all day. And then later on, I had got another job. When my old part-time job went away, I was working at a gentleman's club. And and like I said, I work around with women, and and also my mother. She was like yourself, of the only a single mom. Her and my father were together they were married for 55 years, but my mother was down here in North Carolina with us. My dad was in New Jersey with his own family. But my mother, she passed away like about 3 years ago. My father passed away like 10 years ago. I mean, but as boys, we love our mothers because you're the first one we ever love. And it's a from a movie called Psycho where it said the boy's best friend is his mother. And it's good that he finds that he supports you, and you maybe in the future we might see he may be the next Nick Walker, for all we know. So this is some people that understand about bodybuilding, especially as a pro. This is not a very lucrative sport. There's not a lot of money in it, like it is like you were playing like professional. Like we just had just ended
Yeah.
the world championships in soccer. Those women making more money than some guys in other sports. And I just watched. I do also content in MMA. I just had there's a fight that just had over in Singapore with UFC, and they even like I know a lady. She is an IFB pro uh, fitness competitor. She was also doing MMA, and the MMA was paying for her bodybuilding. But like I said, when you talk about the high heels, now you don't have to worry about that. That's something to save you money. So you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that. But still, it costs you money because you have to travel to the shows. You have to, your suits. Those are the one biggest thing because if the guys they compete, they got to wear a pair of boy shorts and a banana hammock, and that's it.
Yeah.
You ladies have to wear your hair, your makeup, everything that comes together to make what you present to us on the stage. And and you have a job, you work you're coaching and training, that's good. But I know what some ladies have to do, especially when you hit that next level, you want to, especially you want to do this and do that. Some ladies do like certain sites, like I don't know, you would do it for you, but you got a kid, you want to do it like OnlyFans. Some ladies do, there's like organizations like her biceps, or as we call them, as a small community, the Beat the Meat website, excuse my language.
Mhm.
But this is something you have to have a passion for a sport, and especially it's financially, physically, and mentally draining.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, I would call, expensive hobby, right? Because everything costs. But I am lucky to have a support of my family, and I'm lucky to have also a job. Even though like it's very hard sometimes to find the balance between giving you fully 110% to bodybuilding, and also combine it with the full-time job, right? And responsibilities that you have on a daily basis. But it takes a lot. You're right about that. But in order to get ready for the next year, I'm already starting to save. to be able to travel because it financially hits you a little bit really hard.
Yeah, I know, because you know, you got to think about it. Sometimes you want to go to this show, say, okay, there's a show here that's
Yeah.
possibly is because one thing, the prize money isn't that much. I mean, just like I said, just had the master show with Charlotte Boswell and Ivy Rain got $10,000. Ivy did the Texas Pro the week before, like I think the week before, and she got $15,000. That's probably the biggest payday she had in her career. Out of she done 3 shows. She did Tampa, she did
Yeah.
um, Texas, and she did the show Romania. And she made a good chunk of change with that. But if you look at the guys' ends, the guys, like I said again, they do cost. It costs for them to eat too, because costs them for them to grow. But still, like I said again, you gotta calculate suits, your hair, your makeup, your jewelry.
Oh, it's
Especially
a
if
lot.
you,
It's
yeah.
really a lot.
Mhm.
Supplements, protein shakes, your food, it just everything. Travel and booking
Coach and
hotel,
trainers,
coach, posing coach.
recoveries, massages,
Yeah, and you want to bring also like, um, I don't want to be in the same suit every single show, right? So like, then posing practice suits. It just takes everything wherever like you want to put your eye on, like it's a lot financial, but without doing that, like I'm not happy. That's it just it's me. That's why like I'll keep doing it. I'll try to pursue my dream and just we'll see where it takes me. I
yes.
don't like easy roads, so the climb at that mountain is pretty exciting and I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing is, that it's tough. I mean, you have to have a passion for sport, and a lot of people got to understand that this sport's not just about okay. Most people on the outside, outside say like, okay, let me pop this pill and see this, and I'll be a bodybuilder. No, you
No.
have to be consistent. You have to follow a diet. Yes, there's to develop that type of muscle. It does take certain performance enhancers, certain pads, and whatever else, but it's only like the minute part of this sport. There's one thing about bodybuilding.
Hard work consistently from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to sleep. Even like little things, cardio, rest periods, like listening to your body, listening to your health. It just all it takes all. And you can feel like a normal social person, especially while being on a prep, or me working with the clients. Last 2 weeks before the show I usually take off because I'm not the fun person to be around. And even though like I would give all myself, but the energy is draining and you want a little bit that tunnel vision at the end and just truly belong to yourself because it takes a lot. But it just a thing, and I'm really happy that I'm doing it because it's my everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's a passion that you have to have. And like I said again, ever since I started doing this content and talking to you ladies, I've gone on friendships with y'all. People tell me
Mhm.
stuff, and sometimes there'll be times like I do this. This is what I do sometimes. Every so often I make little fan art and send it to the ladies. And I had a lady just tell me, say, George, thank you for sending me that because sometimes it's good that someone's thinking about me and sending me something just to keep my spirits up. And that's the tough part about that. We got a man, the guy kept with his name. This is my man, Bulls Deep. And he says, R.I.P. Bob Barker. Yes, we just lost the legendary Bob Barker. I used
Um,
to, when I was a kid, because, we were off like on school, like for the summer, or like, like one friend told me when she was like 6 days, we
mhm.
used to watch The Price is Right. Like Bob. One thing Bob used to be always afraid of was Samoan women. Those they used to grab him up like, like but great guy, Mr. Him, one of the greatest game show hosts around. And yeah, it's tough, because like I said, what you're doing is you're changing the aspect of what is like you have children, and and I know you have people, especially on social media. I was talking to a lady, she's talking about guys make comments about how she's trying to be a man. This woman has kids. I mean, what's that tell you that she's not trying to be a man? This is the thing is, this is how I'm like this. Men and women, we're the same race. We're both humans,
Yeah,
but we're different species. Men are different from
absolutely.
women. That's the fact of it. Anytime a man make comments about a woman, it's something about your sugar intake. You can
It
never.
just insecurity speaks in that person. Like I've got tons of like negative comments, and I try not to react, even though like it's hard. They always get under your skin, anyways. But since I'm not a very big social person, I don't post a lot. But some people are truly like try to say something bad to you and kind of like bring your spirit down. But just make your vision like that tunnel. Don't look, don't react, don't interact with them because you cannot change it. Like if you start uh, digging yourself into that interaction with that person, it will just drain your energy and you'll feel empty. Why would I do that? I'm simply ignoring or blocking or deleting the comments. Like how long have you been a woman? Since my like being born, idiot. Like what can I say? Like
Yeah, you can't, like I say, you can't help. Like I say this. I told this to my nephew one time about a family member of ours. I said, like, you can't fix stupid. That's
That's
what.
it.
Yeah,
It's just like either it is you have it or not.
yeah.
Like whatever.
And to quote one of my favorite rappers, Jay-Z, this is for the song "The Takeover." He says, "A wise man told me never argue with fools because from a distance
Yeah,
no one can tell who
absolutely.
is who." Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that. Oh my God, I think I'm in love. I think I got somebody. I'm gonna like hey, I got somebody got simple. I'm sorry. This woman quoting Rocky Jay-Z. Oh my God, I gotta marry her. I gotta know Ukrainian. I mean, I gotta move to Virginia. I'll be your son's pappy if he needs one. But yeah, that's the tough part about this sport. And like I said, we gotta remember that you're an athlete and we have to respect, what you ladies go through. And I think people need to understand this part. Now, you last competed at the Teen Collegiate Show. That was your last year competing at that was your report
But
card, right?
yeah, it was
And,
one and in May, and then I went got ready to the nationals in July. So I kept myself in a prep for 7 months.
mhm. And what was the critique the judges give you when you competed the last show?
So to improve my legs to bring more size and just to make my lower body match upper body and bring that balance to the stage.
Yeah, let's talk about the bring the balance. We talk about how the difference between physique and women's bodybuilding, how you need those muscle bellies, they need that fullness in the shoulders and the delts.
Yeah.
Also, with physique, how you come in that leaner and conditioning look. I mean, this stuff I've been learning ever since because I just couldn't tell the difference. But from the conversations I had with you ladies, the interviews I've done, I'm really learning a bit. I do a thing where I do comparisons. And it's a thing I do, and I take some ladies who I see, I follow. I say, you know what, and I put them on my YouTube channel, and I said, one lady she saw I did comparison on her once. She said,
Hmm.
George, I like the fact you didn't sexualize the conversation. You talked about our physiques, you talked about us, but you didn't sexualize, and that's people did, like with the women fan base is like this is how you break it down. With the men over here, the men's fan base is gonna be a lot longer because it's mostly guys who are a fan of guys and also guys who are come say come side. Then and then with women, your fan base is a little smaller. And because mostly it's gonna be got guys like Balls Deep, Rolando G who follow you. But this is why I like to give y'all ladies a platform to share your stories and to let people know that you're people, you're women, you're still women. You like to dress up, you like to go out, you like to be a little girly now and then. Sometimes you say, hey, girls might say, hey girl, I want to go out. So like I gotta get babysit for the kid. Things you want to do as a woman, and people need to
Yeah, but
recognize
you
that.
won't believe it, George. Like my daughter invited me to the restaurant, to the place where she works, and it's like a fancy art gallery, restaurant, and very nice place. But she invited me to celebrate my belated birthday, which was a couple of weeks ago, and I truly realized that I don't have anything to wear except gym clothes, and I felt like I completely fell out of that league of being being the lady that goes out because I have no time for that. I have work, I have clients in the morning, I have my own training, then I go back home, I shower, I meal prep, I pack my meals with me, I go back for afternoon clients, kicks their asses, come back home, take a dog for a walk, and just like that's it. Look at the time, like 10:30. I need to be in bed because it's my recovery phase, and don't you ever like mess with it because it's my time to sleep and all over again. And I was sitting at the restaurant like, oh my God, I forgot what it's like to be out with people around. And it was funny because I don't know, I'm just like a gym rat.
Well, that's like it's one of our ladies. They say that they lost friendships because they get into this life in bodybuilding because it's not just it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like things,
absolutely.
yeah, things you can't do like you used to do. I know ladies she say like she can't go out to to the bar or the club with her friends and drink because she has to go to sleep because she has to get up in 4 o'clock in the morning, do a cardio and do this and then meal prep. It's so much of the factors, and it's hard to make those sacrifices to give up, what people enjoy. I mean, like, and also, yeah, the hard part is finding clothes for y'all ladies because sometimes you're a little bit smaller here, a little bit again there. I think there's some people. I think a friend of mine named Daphne, Daphne Holmes. She's a IFB pro. She just competed Tampa.
Hmm.
Her husband Keith, and I know there's a company that do clothing for women. If you're interested, I'll send the link
Yeah, of
later.
course. Seriously, that would be so helpful because
Yeah, I'll send you the IG. They have codes. So if
Mhm.
you're ever interested, because sometimes you might want to do something with your kids. Like I know your boy might get into something like a school club, maybe a play, and it's nice his mom be dressed. I know somebody may say, "Is that what's your son's name?"
Max.
Max. Is that Max mom? Say, yeah, that's it. What you doing looking at her? I'm just looking. I'm just yeah, because you know what? There's sometimes some guys are a little weird, and they be like, I like to say, she is beautiful. Yes, Lena, I like you excite me. You complete me. Because you never find a woman who can quote Jay-Z and Rocky Balboa. I'm sorry. He's the
No,
other
you're fine.
guy. He comes out every now and then. You gotta be careful. But folks, this is what I think. A lot of you ladies can use is sponsorship. And you have any sponsors, or if because I feel like
No,
everything's on you.
no. I don't have any sponsors and just like all by myself.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that's could help because it was a while ago that Jake Woods. This is something I got to do. Every time I say his name, I got to do this. Jake, yo, Jake. You know where this is coming from? Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. Anytime I don't know a lot of guys named Jake, but whenever I say Jake Woods' name, I got to do the Denzel from Training Day. And and I say, Jake, all I want is you got in your pocket, Jake. I don't just give me what you got in your pocket. I know you got some money in your pocket, but yeah, if there was more like something like the I know I'm talking with Eunice, she said she's gonna try to do something where she's gonna do sponsorship. I think one thing that, as you know, this year hasn't been too good year for women's bodybuilding. I mean, a lot of shows been dropped and cut. Like I know, like say with Charlotte Boswell, who competed at the
Masters.
Masters show. She last year she won. I met her the same day I met her. That's why I met your coach and a friend of hers at there in Fayetteville at this it was seminar, and and she that was maybe the week or so before she did Puerto Rico, lost to Puerto Rico Pro.
Hmm.
Lost it. I went to Atlanta. That was my first body show I went to. Lost to Atlanta Pro. Got kicked out of Omaha. Got kicked out of the show in Brazil. This is one thing. Bodybuilding is a little better now than it was a few years ago. I know 13 years ago they kicked it out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Arnold, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Arnold, he kicked it out, then kicked out physique, now figure. And only thing left is fitness, and as I call it, the TNA division. That's wellness and bikini. And
Hmm.
it's getting harder for you could stick in physique, but you feel like you said like you were developing more, and
Yeah.
bodybuilding is where you want to go. But I see some ladies like I don't want to go up to bodybuilding. Just saw recently Ashley Jones. She said she's taking a year off. She's going up to bodybuilding. Melissa Tite just debuted at Chicago in bodybuilding. Like I said, it's about progression of the body, especially genetics kick in. Also, when you train, like I know Melissa Tite does a lot of powerlifting. If your body starts developing, it's no point trying to keep yourself in a division in which it doesn't fit you anymore.
Yeah, of course, because for the prep, you either have to sacrifice, either losing the muscle if you're trying to squeeze yourself to this certain weight range, right? Or just stick to where you truly belong, because like there's nothing in between. Like always listen and look at your physique critically. If you have a coach, please get feedback and to like get an honest opinion and work like. Uh, just where we truly belong. Where do you see me? How we can improve? because that's what you makes better every year.
Mhm. So it's a good thing that's good advice because and I think, have you ever considered starting coaching? Because I know you train other people, but have you coached any competitors, or you just a
No, not
regular?
yet. No, no, no. I just like training lifestyle clients, improving their lives. But like I think in time I will be confident enough to lead somebody. But it's a huge responsibility, right? For the next year for my pro debut, I want to focus only on myself and don't stress because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, because
If
one
you're
thing.
coaching somebody, I just want to just know that I loaded my trust on my coach and she is leading me to where we have our goal and we're going there. I'm not taking anybody to coach right now.
Anyway, talk about your coach. Is she planning on competing next year? Because it's been,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's been, she earned a pro card at the Miss International,
Chicago.
yeah,
Chicago, yeah.
Chicago, and it's gonna be almost a year since that show.
Yeah.
And and I was, I met her. She's a tall woman. And she, her, but
I'm lucky when I stand next to her.
yeah,
She's
you like, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
5'6". I'm 5'7". So that's about it because I think that's what a lot of ladies in bodybuilding is usually you can't be too tall. Anything past 5'5" or just slightly over 5'6", it's a lot harder to put on that muscle. It's easier for the, like, you look at like the
Yeah.
Michaela Aycocks, the Alicia Youngs, the much shorter women who can really put on muscle
Yeah.
because it's just that they're more compact. But
They're
it's like,
compact. Yeah.
yeah, I know I did an interview with a lady named Angela Nori. Oh, Angela, she's almost 6 feet tall. I know your coach, she's nearly about 6 feet tall. It's a lot
Yeah.
harder for the taller women to put
Yeah,
on
you
that
have a
level of
lot of
muscle.
property, as I call, to feel love. And on a shorter person, like when you start training, you'll see adding amount of muscle right away because you're so compact. You see, like, oh, your legs got bigger, your shoulders are getting fuller, your overall look bigger. When the tall person put exactly the same amount of muscle on herself or himself, but because it's just such a long torso, like such a long, like, huge height, you won't be able to notice it right away. That's why it takes so much work and dedication to put on size on a tall person. That's why when I look at her and see her physique, I'm just like, oh my god, you're my hero. Like, you were able to do that. Like, look at you. Oh, like incredible. Had like shoulders. Like when we were training together at before our nationals qualification show. She was spotting me when we were doing lateral raises. You keep and if you take a picture from behind, you won't be able to see me in her frame because I'm just lost. It's her shoulders, her like standing like she's like a rock behind me.
It's like when
Yeah, exactly.
you ever see Cobra pick his head up and then he's about to hiss, he spreads out
Yeah,
his hood. I've seen women
exactly.
like that. They look like they can fly like a bird. You know.
Yeah, and I have that picture, and I keep telling my people like, you see those little two feet? That's me in front of her, and
So,
the thing is just like
so,
there.
so where's Lena? I guess he Lena said, oh,
Yeah,
she's behind Christina. I say,
yeah.
okay. But yeah, but folks, if you're interested in following the lovely Mrs. Betka, reach out to her in genuine interest. Because, and also if you're someone like who's interested in sponsoring her, like set up a contract, set up a plan. Like one thing we don't see much more in bodybuilding like it used to be, ladies getting sponsorship. Like we did have Green Spring for their program. It's hard because the fact even you ladies do use products, they use the bigger guys because who's popular. They might use Nick Walker, Brandon Curry, Chris Bumstead, someone like that, and or they go with bikini girls. I don't really, no offense to those ladies. I understand they're athletes too, but they're still not as, like one thing there was a lot of talk about how it was how long it took for the Olympia last year because it was a mess when we went back to Vegas. Should have kept it in Florida. I know one lady, she got sick and we get an interview a week after that. She said, George, I told her, you don't want to, you already, we can hold it off. She said, nah, George, I want to interview with you. So that's cool. But yeah, I think one thing should be done is like this. As you know, they don't have the point systems anymore, and that's why that the Masters show now. I think like this. If you feel like like they keep changing the criteria, because especially like just recently I saw that they announced they're changing the criteria for. I was talking to Keith, Daphne's husband, how to change the criteria for men's classic. They're going to change the criteria for men's physique. And I often ask them, a couple ladies had a debate where we talk about, will this change criteria affect women's bodybuilding, will affect physique if they keep changing it? Because one thing, the judges have a lot of control. Like you go to a show, you're in better condition this girl, but then she wins. I've seen shows with girls that look like they should be 10th or maybe in the bottom, be in the top five.
Yeah, that's the problem right now. Like they like I think pro cars right now like are getting away or given away way too fast and too easy. It's not about the it's about the full it's not about like who shows up on the stage, right, and you choose the best of them all. It's about like bringing what judges are truly looking for, specifically following all criteria, all judgment, and bringing the full package: balance, beauty, femininity. That's what important. But when people just jumping into the show just because it's cool and don't realize how much effort it takes, sometimes it just like it doesn't work like that.
It's kind of like the quote from one quote: "Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one lifts this heavy ass weight."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, I
Everybody
understand.
like it's not about what looks cool. It's about hard work and really putting in effort, not just to have like a beautiful stage pictures and to compete and get whatever, like beautiful Instagram post. No, it's about like your lifestyle. You have to bring what's truly needed to the stage and follow what judges are looking for. If the criteria bring the fullness and the muscle roundness, then you have to bring the look.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the thing. That's important. But also, like I said again, social media is important. It's a way to get yourself out there to get attention. Like I said, you have a particular look to you. Like I said, you're an attractive lady. You're a cool lady too. I'm enjoying my conversation with you. But like I said, people need to remember again, this is still a sport, and even though it's not a sport where it's like when I was coming up, bodybuilding used to be on like regular television. You can usually catch it on cable. Most time you only like catch it on either on YouTube. Like I'm on YouTube quite a bit, or catch it when you live streams. But if it was more like the mainstream source, like the football season just started for both college and the pros. Won't be long before we have the end of baseball and the start of basketball. If this sport was more like those sports where they were, you compete to make money, you don't have to, bust your butt every day, train
Yeah,
people. You can, hey,
professional.
yeah, you can, do this. But this is why I say this. I reach out to people out there. I know guys who follow my channel, and I know some of you guys, if you have enough money to put in to buy a session or to do this, reach out to a competitor and say you want to be a sponsor. But here's the thing, guys. Don't be this guy saying, hey, Lena, you're kind of cute. You got that kick ass chick look to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I do something for you, you do something for me. No, no, guys. Stop that. Be somebody said, Miss Patek, I want to help you any way I can. So if you need something from me, like any kind of assistance, like something like if you want to go on a show, if you want me to pay for your travel expenses, I'll happy to do that. All I want to return for you is to grow and develop as an athlete. I want to take a little stress off you. That's what we wish more people step to do, but it's hard to do that.
It's hard right
You know.
now. But also, like I think with Andrea Shaw as a true representative of like women's bodybuilding, she's promoting that. She's showing the people and opening that window, showing like what it's true to be like a women bodybuilder. That is beautiful, and it's getting more popular and popular. I would say because I see more girls would like to grow to that level and would like to compete in women's bodybuilding because it's beautiful. And the league like Winds of Strength, right? It's also promoting women's bodybuilding to show and open the world like us big girls, not only bikini and wellness and those like that we could consider right now popular divisions, right? But to show like badass girls that like step on a stage and you are just sitting there in a hall and breathtaking, like oh wow, oh my god, there, that's it, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a
That's a show.
see, there's this like I remember when I used to go on this these chat rooms back in the day, when back when you used to you had dial up. So and I remember some guy told me like he used to do this. He used to go to the shows. He used to work in sales, and he said when he has to go do a sale, travel someplace, he used to try to set it around when he go to a show, and that's one thing that helps if people can go to shows.
Yeah.
I mean, people keep telling me say, well, if the attendance is about this and attendance is about that, but this is they use excuses like, okay, people not coming to shows, but you got to make it worth their while to come. And if they do come, have the division that they want to see. Have women's bodybuilding. You have a show just have bikini and just wellness. We like this guy told me, he said like when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. We get excited when you see y'all ladies on stage. We love you, even though this is where your body is your weakest. You're dehydrated. You're draining. So I interviewed a lady named Jennifer Sater. She fainted on the Olympia stage like about 14, 15 years ago. I remember back about a few years ago, this lady named Patty Hansen. She was out of Chicago. She was nearly this one was dying. You athletes, you pretty much risk your life and your health to do the show. And I think the powers that be should really support you athletes. Like one thing, you get this pro card. You pay like $200 a year for this card.
Yeah.
There should be some benefits for it, especially you have a child. He's still young. Something like, okay, something happened to mommy. There's life insurance, health insurance, something happened to him. He's covered. I mean, there should be more incentive for you competitors. So, because if you go, this is about making money for the higher ups. The money should also go back to the people that bring the people to come to stage. No one comes to see Jim Mannion. No one comes to see Bob Ciccarello. No one comes to see, Tim Gardner or any of these, promoters or judges. We to come see y'all. And I think there should be more like, one long ago we had a bunch of deaths. Sean Roten, Mountain Dog, Jennifer Hernandez is one lady I was talking to. She passed away no more than, it's just really, there should be more consideration for you. And like I said, being there's another Ukrainian bodybuilder I'm a fan of that is Valentina Shepagin. Is that got a name right? I want to see her. She was just a beautiful woman too. And she was a co-Miss Olympia. That was the year should have just made it either her or Yuri just the main Miss Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
But we as the fans and as supporters, and also it should be more for y'all when you put into sport, how much you put into your time, your money, your entire life. And I think if anything, the IFBB and NPC should support y'all. Because you know what, like I said, no one gonna go to shows just to see the promoters and the judges. We come to see you.
Yeah, I hope like it will improve in years, and thank you for all the support. Because as more people know about it, more people invest in it emotionally, just to see come and just support us, just to get introduced to this lifestyle. I think people will understand, and just like it becoming more popular and popular. I would say it's this sport is rising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even though like we don't see it yet, and it's not as much support as we wanted, but still we just keep doing our thing, and it will get better.
Yeah. And say the great late Bernie Mac says, if people don't like you, that's it. They just look, that's it. Because
I
like
have
we're
a
going,
shirt read exactly the same saying. Like if they don't believe in you, fuck it.
like that's my man Bernie Mac. I love him. Great actor, great comedian. Oh, folks, we're not gonna hold her too much longer. I know she's been busy. She took some time off with me. It's just we like guys. We get a girl come over your place and she takes some time with you. You really appreciate that because
Thank
and
you
just
so
and
much
she's
for
a
having me here today.
well, this is like I said. If my man KL were here because I got he sometimes I got a friend in KL. Sometimes we do live streams together. He sometimes comes in here. I'm surprised he's not here today. He'll pick on me when I talk about because one of my favorite movie trilogies is the Batman, Chris Nolan, Christian Bale series. And in the first movie is Batman Begins. At the end of it, Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon says to Batman, "I forgot to thank you." And Batman turns around and says, "You never have to," because you know what, when I started to this, I was just a fan of women's bodybuilding, collecting magazines like this. And then I was taking care of my mom. And she was sick for a good while till she passed away. And when she passed away, my mom was my woman. I used to work my old job, I worked like 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. We were off on Fridays. Me and her go to yard sales, do that. That was my road dog. I took care of her for 6 years. And what kept me going with getting her stuff was doing content on you ladies and doing interviews and stuff like that. And then when she was gone, I said, you know what? I don't really have anything. I don't have no kids. I don't got no woman. My family said, you need to take care of myself. Before she died, I was almost 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 500 pounds.
Oh wow.
I am now down to 388. I was going to Planet Fitness about every other week, but I had a little setback. I taken some break. I had some issues with my shoulder. Some people pick up. I found the thing. I seen the thing about Planet Fitness. People come to my gym. That's what it works with my budget, fellas. I can't afford to go to a big bodybuilding gyms like y'all do.
But
This
good
works for my
job,
budget.
George. Look at you. You lost so much weight. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's tough because sometimes there's some things I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be like y'all guys.
Nobody is.
I still like certain things, especially like when your last competition. What was that thing you got to eat? What was that favorite thing you wanted that you ate?
Ate. Everybody kept asking me the same question, and that point I was just, I want everything. Like if you tell me pasta, yes, pasta. If you tell me donuts, yes, the donuts. Like everything on my side. But we went to Italian restaurant and we messed up a little bit with the prices because there were prices like for um not prices, it was for amount of people, and we thought like, oh, it's only $14 pasta. So we get that like, huge bowl of pasta and standing in front of me, I was like, who the hell eats like that? But then we realized like it's just for a huge amount of people, but I was happy with that, carbs all in. So I had pasta Italian, yeah,
Yeah, I
and a
think
cookie.
I think people, especially ladies, when you have to carb deplete yourself and you be crazy for a cookie, donuts, burger, anything that has salt,
All I was
sugar.
watching on internet and Instagram, it was just like cooking cookies, like crack opening. For me, it was just the best thing in the world, just to keep watching those cookies.
It's like watching it like crack for you, like if you
Yeah,
like
it
you
was
like your
like
cookie, you like if
a
you call my
force.
name, man, be calling my name, be calling my
And,
name, man, be calling
yeah,
my name.
and my
Yeah, I
husband
know.
kept asking me like, like you don't feel like you're torturing yourself? I was just like, no, I feel happy watching just food.
Well, sometimes I might say something. I have somebody say, George, don't see me. I'm on prep. Don't see me some food stuff. Then I have somebody say, George, you got any food stuff you can see me? Because I'm right now. I'm
Yeah.
craving for something.
You have.
I just want to smell. I want to look at it. I remember one time when I started losing my weight a good bit. It was like my oldest nephew. He told me, well, he's going to do Mother's Day because it's for my sister, who's his mother, and we're going to do it at her house. Say, well, I need some things. You mind picking these things up? I say, okay. So I had a doctor's appointment that day. So I went to my doctor's office. Then I went to this place here. We didn't have it. So I went to Walmart. They didn't have it. So I said, you know what? It's already 12. I'm hungry. There was a Chinese place from Walmart I used to go to. I
Mm.
went there. I was hungry. I ate the food, but this doesn't feel like I used to. Like I'm a Chinese loving whore. I'm gonna admit that. But then I was eating the food. I think I hadn't been to a Chinese restaurant maybe 2 or 3 months, or maybe more than that. I mean, but it's because you change the aspects of you. I still like eat sweets because I'm pre-diabetic. I gotta be careful, but still, every now and then, just something you want. But yeah, it's hard to give up so much, like drinking alcohol. Like I don't drink. Me, I never drink. I sip here and there, but I never been drinking. But it's so much for the sport for you to sacrifice. And you know what? It's a sacrifice that like it's like that movie, like they think the Peace Corps. It's the toughest job you ever love.
Yeah.
Well, folks, like I said again, we do enjoy this lovely lady's time. I mean, wish her best of luck. When are you planning to make your debut? You want to wait a little bit more into the year, or you just,
I think it
because
will be latest spring, something like that. Because I'm itching to get hungry. I mean, like dieting, yeah, for me, even though like it's very hard job and you are so like restrained from lots of things, you're just simply following your plan. But growing and getting bigger is the toughest job in the world. Forcing yourself eat when you're absolutely full and not hungry, having that heat, as you notice, like it's before, it's just absolutely gross. So for me, just staying longer in this improvement season and trying to get bigger, for me it's hard physically and mentally because I'm tired. I want to be starving, I want to be hungry, like I want to eat paint out of the walls and get to the stage and see what we got.
Mhm.
Yeah,
well,
so it's gonna be next year spring.
well, I know, I've always tried to follow the what's going up on the show because, I think the show coming up in Virginia. I don't know if you're training, you were interested in maybe checking it out, maybe doing some
It depends what show has a women's bodybuilding, because I'm gonna be focusing only on women's bodybuilding, not
yeah.
physique.
Well,
And
I
not
think
all of them they have that division, unfortunately.
yeah, I think this show. I think it might have women's bodybuilding, but it just showed you. I would say just it's gonna come. It's, I think when it's. I think I get the. Let me see the when it's coming up. Coming up, I think in a couple of months. Maybe show you want to check out. I'm not sure. I think it's called the Ben Weeder Natural or something like that.
Hmm.
I'm not. I know. I think they have women's bodybuilding because I've seen on the list
Yeah.
for the. It's not. I don't think it's an Olympic qualifier because but it is a show like it's kind of like the Masters show. But
Okay.
I would say, maybe you and Chrissy want to check it out, see maybe it show that interests you, or just to go maybe do some networking because it's one thing that helps a lot of you competitors out. Because I know when the pandemic hit, a lot of ladies who were training people, they were doing like you like online training too.
I train in person people.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of we're doing because ever since like the pandemic, this is one thing we learned when you have wars and pandemics, new technologies come out. And like a lot of people do online training. That can help too if you can find the time to squeeze it in between taking care of your boy, doing this. But I would say like this: whatever fits for you, whenever you make your announcement, I'm here. I will, and also every so often there. What I do some of these ladies when they have some ladies will ask me, George, we know when the list is supposed to be out. I say, okay, I'll see the list as soon as I get it because I'm always out here trying to keep up what's going on. I like I said, I also have my little birdies. I call myself Jon Snow, Lord of the Wall. Commander of the North, and my little
Okay.
ravens came and give me information, and they're always wondering what's going on. And tell me something. And that's why I love when I got into friendship with these ladies because you give me information that most people don't know. I keep it when you tell me something. I say I keep it in confidence because this is something between you and me.
Yeah.
But like I said, whenever you're ready, you and your
Yes, I'll
coach,
let.
you
Yep,
know,
I'll let you know. Yeah,
yeah,
all my people
yeah.
that support follow me. Yes.
I'll announce it on my channel, like, hey, the lovely, Miss Patinka is coming. She's coming to make a pro debut, and so is the coach. So but like I said, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be
Thank
cool. I'm
you.
just, yeah. But before we say it like this, what would you, as a competitor, a pro, what would you like to see change in your mindset in the sport of bodybuilding?
In a mindset about bodybuilding, mm, I would love to see people think of it more seriously. Just because it's stage, it shouldn't be a goal stage. I love to training and should be the priority. When you love the training, all your goals have fallen in just in right places. But don't set up like competing just as a goal as itself. Just go within your heart to where you want to go. That's it.
Well, that's generally good because I think a lot of people need to do that. Think of this not as just not just
Not
as
because
a
it's cool, popular, and just you want to try to be like influencer on Instagram, right? Because it looks cool. Go with your heart. When the person truly loves what they are doing, it's visible. You cannot hide it. It's
Mhm.
not about running around the gym with the tripod and make little videos and taking 2 hours, 3 hours, and uh, checking your phone more than you did your reps. It's about love. When I see a person focus and training and putting in effort, that's what brings that person to the next level. That's for me, that's a person of respect. That's a status. So when more people would see this sport as it like that, that would be great.
Where it's like this. You want to put your heart, your blood, your tears into this sport. You know everything you put into it, and you want to get back much of it. I know. Do you still have family back in Ukraine?
What's that?
You still have family back in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this: my prayers and heart go out to them. I hope they're doing all right. I'm glad they
Thank
support you, and I hope Max. I mean, sometimes I know Max. You ever had issues like, "Hey, Max, can we hang at your house tonight?" Hey, Miss Lena. You say, "Hey, that's my mom, guys." But it's good that
Not yet. Not yet. He's pretty shy.
you gotta be careful. He's about to be 13, and when those boys, I can tell you, for those boys, when we start turning into that age where our hormones start bubbling, and you start really paying more attention to like, wow, Mac's mom's kind of hot. I just say, dude, that's Mac's mom. I say, nah, dude. I mean, I just I mean, you have one little kid hanging around. You say, "Hey, Miss, you need anything, ma'am? You need anything done?" Say, "Oh, hey,
I better
calm
don't
down."
mess with Max because Mama's here. Okay.
Yeah. Well, folks, as I said again, I'd love to thank Lena for coming through, sharing her story.
Thank you so
Wish her
much.
best of luck in a pro debut. Like I said, folks, I said this: if you are someone out there, and I'm gonna keep saying this because you know what, I wish I could do more. I have this platform I got, and I try to do as much as I can with it. But what some of these ladies do who are in the sport, they can really use support. If you are someone who, like, if you have a business and you're looking for athletes to sponsor, like, or if you see Lena somewhere and say, hey, she's buying groceries, say, you know what, let me buy this, buy that for you. Take a little, just little things that help along the way. Because maybe that be enough. If maybe something to save enough money, she gets a nice posing suit. I know one lady told me, said what she do, she gets used ones or she gets some rents. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in or not, but that's something's the option you have. But these little things that help out these ladies along the way are appreciated. I know you guys out there, you see her, she's pumped up, she's shredded, she's on stage, you get a little pop tent. No, remember, this is a woman. This is a athlete. She's on her shit, and she would like for you to respect her as that. Just like I said again, reach out with genuine interest. Like I said, her social media stuff is in the description. If you're genuinely interested in reaching out to her, if you're in the Virginia area and you want to get trained, make extra clients help. That's money, but also be respectful at the same time. And she has a kid. She has two kids, guys. No the pics. Stop it. Get some help. Women don't like that. Women will not buy. Women don't. It's just that does not get you anything. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar. You get more with a silk glove than an iron fist. Just
Amen.
be genuine in interest. So anyway, I'd like to thank the lovely Miss Lena for coming through. I'd like to thank my man Rolando G, my man Balls Deep. He's been Balls Deep. You've been heavy yourself because usually balls deep. And I usually don't ask this, but you got you're in your tank top, and you might as well, because I know some guys can say, George, you don't ask the girl to do flexing. I don't want to bottom with that. But if you give us a little flex real quick, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's good. Nothing fancy. Appreciate it. Thank you. I know.
Bye.
Now you got your purse. Okay, so put back your lotion and your napkins and have a good day. Okay. So anyway,
Hell
folks.
yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So anyway, folks, check her out. Follow her on social media. Support her. If you're in the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, reach out to her. But show interest and appreciation to these ladies. There's a lot of they put this stuff through, and they need to be respected more than anything. Anyway, like I think my man Balls Deep with Knowledge G. Anyone who's out here, follow, subscribe. Support the women's sport of bodybuilding. Support all athletes in bodybuilding. You should man all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Bye.
Bye.